clock on the wall says 6 p.m. Pacific.
C'est le Lounge Show avec Rob Scott et Bob Doyle, deux diffuseurs vétérans qui aiment s'entendre parler et qui réussissent d'une manière ou d'une autre à se supporter. Voyons si vous pouvez les supporter aussi bien. Voici.
That's, I'm really tired of this nonsense. It cuts off. It's very inconsistent.
Talk to Skippy.
Skippy, where are you? We could AI Skippy.
Do you have anything that resembles an applause?
Yeah, I thought I baked that in there.
Yeah, no, it's not baked at all. There's no baking going on.
I know for sure it's in the closer. So if it disappears this time, we've got audio ghosts.
Yeah,
Who are we to have the ghosts? Well, I'm Bob Doyle. I'm nearly functional at a basic level.
Okay, I'm Rob Scott.
It's 9 o'clock on a Saturday.
AKA Valentine. What does the N stand for?
No way.
No way Tyne. So you're a descendant from a long line of Tynes, are you?
Yeah, many a Tyne.
And that was Val short for something?
Yeah, Kilmer.
So your real name is Kilmer.
No way.
I forgot. No way. Wait.
That was 8
Kilmer,
seconds
no
ago.
way. Kilmer No Way Tyne.
Mm-hmm.
Name and drinking
But
tea.
my stage name is Val.
You got a little Evergreen Park, Illinois sweatshirt action going. Is the temperature where you are cool enough to merit something of that thickness?
Gosh. Where is it? I was going to play it before you. Because if you're going to talk weather. No, it's actually 54. It's a balmy 54 here in Atlanta.
We've got a 62 degree.
The reason I'm wearing Evergreen Park colors, or at least advertising the fact that this is where I'm from, at the very bottom, it says that's where my story began.
Oh, I like it.
There's a young lady competing for the United States in ice hockey in Italy right now in the Olympics, and she hails from Evergreen Park. So I'm wearing the colors in honor of our little corner of our, of the world down in the Chicagoland area.
Right. That has more attention than usual.
Yeah. So she's actually, I shouldn't say actually, but she's very good. Obviously, she's on the Olympic team, but apparently she's one of the big stars on the Olympic team. So these are the things you stumble across, Bob, as you know, when
Small
you
town girl done good.
Yeah.
That kind of pandering, condescending story.
Hey, by the way, totally unrelated, but whatever happened to people making salad dressing with cruets? Do they do that anymore, where you got the powder and you put it in there with the oil and the vinegar and you shook it up? Everyone used to do that all the time.
It's true. And
I don't see that as much.
That was a very 70s thing.
Okay.
And that's when I remember it. And I'd totally forgotten about it until you just mentioned it. But now that you mentioned it, I'm remembering. And I could, my brain, it could be filling in memories. All I remember is there was an elephant and a zombie and the cruets.
Yeah. No, I remember my mom making them all the time. Put the
Only
little
when
salad.
we had company, I think.
Yeah, it was fancy.
Yeah.
But there was a line for the oil and a line for the vinegar. Yes. And then you put the little powdered mix in.
Yeah.
And you shake it up and make Italian dressing.
Yep.
And that was a big deal because it seemed like it was like homemade. It was like fresh.
Homemade. It's from scratch.
So anyway, this is the Lounge Show. Bob and I are here because it's the two of us. It's phone, as Bob has coined the phrase, and I love it, a phone call with an intro. But we be here, and we're here every week, and for the most part. And yes, Bob, it is Valentine's Day, and it was one of my notes. So one thing crossed my mind. I saw this online. Remember the days when you had to bring a Valentine to school, even for kids you didn't like? I thought that was a pretty funny.
Oh gosh, yeah. I choose you, and there's a picture of a train.
Okay, I don't remember that one. But
that's a Simpsons line. Yeah.
Oh.
It's but yes, of course I remember all that, and everybody had their little bags, and everybody got one from everybody, and it was the same old crap.
Yeah, you had to sit the night before. My mom would make me sit down, and you had to fill them all out. It was a real pain in the ass.
Truly,
it was a monster pain in the ass, and then you had to hand them all around. But if Jeannie Franz gave me a Valentine, that was cool because I had, a big time crush on Jeannie Franz.
Yeah.
who I thought was really hotsy-totsy, and she was until I got to Central Junior High, and then there were feeder schools from all over the community there in Evergreen Park. There were 3 other elementary schools that had all kinds of people that I had never met, and Jeannie Franz went down a few notches there.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
I'm sorry.
Didn't mean to bore you that much with my
If
story.
I hear another story about Jeannie Franz.
I thought that ended when he stopped drinking. Now he's still telling that Jeannie Franz story.
Oh, gee. Actually, yeah, I don't recall ever hearing that name from you before. That's
Yeah,
pretty
Barb Guriel and Jeannie Franz. Those were
now see, what was the last name on Barb?
Guriel.
Yeah,
I roller skated with Barb Guriel. You know, you go to those skate parties.
All skate.
Oh yeah, where is my all skate? I've got all skate. Hold on. I do.
All skate. Couple skate. This is more doodly do. I don't know. This is senior skate. We're gonna Ed's 78 years young today, and he's out in the rink every Wednesday. Yeah, there's 4 people holding him, but Ed's a friendly guy. He'll be around the rink in about 20 minutes from now, so take a bathroom break.
And we're back.
All right.
That's actually what that's called. The name of that is called All Skate and Intermission. That's the name of that actual track.
No, wait. You didn't name it that?
No, it came from the archivey, radio drop place that I find all these, old.
So wait. Let me just digest this for a moment. A couple of things. Number one, I'm going to add these up.
Oh, Dean's here. Oh, awesome. Happy Valentine's Day, Dean.
Yes, thank you. Yes, what he said. So wait, I'm stuck on this. So you've played this quote, you've played this drop several times.
Yes.
And maybe you've mentioned the name of it before. However, All Skate is OG Lounge, like 1990-ish, something like that.
Yeah, I came to town in 1, Bob. So it'd be around 92, but it's been around. That's old. It's old school lounge. You're right. It's OG lounge is what.
Very, very, very. And for you to eventually run into a track that's actually called All Skate, is enough. But if you never told me that,
I don't think so.
That's craziness. How would you not tell me that this thing is called All Skate when you play it and it's All Skate? It's like it may as well be called Feed the Freaking Birds. Or the Brady Bunch theme. Oh,
but it's not. It's called All Skate.
Okay.
Called All Skate and Intermission. What's the last word? Classic. All Skate and So yeah. So they.
I love it very much.
Yeah. And I found it I also found this one too, which you've heard a million times, but still.
Yeah, that's again. My guess is that Harper and Fishman played that. I think we probably played that. I know hearing that on the 70s on the radio when I was in 7th grade listening to when these things came out.
Sure. And they had reverb. All the DJs, they actually, they just had a little reverb, and they always had like music playing behind them during the bit.
That was more 90s, wasn't it?
Wasn't it? No. I was listening to Larry Lujak doing that at WLS in the 70s in Chicago for sure.
Okay.
But he didn't do the letters bit. He did animal stories and it was a top 40 station. He was a top 40 jock,
and all of his speaking had that little bit of reverb behind it.
Yeah, everybody had a little reverb on those top 40 stations. I mean,
it's weird that I don't remember that part, but maybe if I went back and heard. Oh, by the way, Tracy, major find the other day, or did I send it to you? I don't know if I did. Major find the other day, which turns out he knew about. Who's he? Give me some context. I don't remember why we even came up with this, but David Paul came up.
Oh,
I think, and there's a YouTube channel where someone has days and hours of cassette recordings of the overnight show.
Of the overnight show, we're on SB.
Overnight show, yeah.
Okay.
Where Okay, so maybe not a big deal to you. To me, that's because that's where he was the best, right? I mean, that's where
I didn't know he did overnights. I thought he did nights.
no, he led up to the morning show.
Well, I remember when you guys did like middays or something.
Yeah, that's right. And that's when I joined him.
Right.
But
But he started doing overnights?
he made his whole bit doing midnight to 6 or something, or midnight
Okay,
to 5.
cool. See, I didn't know. Or I didn't.
Oh, I
Maybe I
thought you
knew.
knew all this.
No, I didn't.
Okay,
Just
well,
just
then
like you didn't
it
know it
doesn't
was.
mean as much to you then. I get it. But I mean that it was I listened to like 15 seconds and I'm going, "Oh my God, that vibe."
Well,
The
I mean, I knew he cut his teeth somewhere, so that all makes sense to me. And maybe I forgot. Is I guess where I'm going here. I mean,
that's where his numbers were freaking huge because he was reaching all over the country on that Clear Channel, Blowtorch of the South.
yeah.
And so he had a very cult following. People who got his bit, and played along and the whole thing. Just it was a much better version of what we did during the day. We bitted it up and sticked it up and all that stuff in the daytime because they told us to.
I'm not even sure where to start. I could just start.
Okay, this is the one where he walks out, right?
I know. I'm just wanting to put his voice out there. I wasn't going to play the whole thing. Yeah, that's the one where he actually kind of loses his brain.
Yeah, I still don't know what to think of that one.
Well, I know it always makes you feel a little uncomfortable, but hey, that's broadcasting.
I can't remember if I asked him about it because we did that interview with him on the Bob Doyle show several years ago. And this is what brought it up. I think that was what it was because somebody every now and then I get a comment on that thing that somebody was a huge.
Dean wants to know who we're talking about. Give Dean
Oh, David Paul. David Paul. I'm so sorry, Dean. David Paul was basically a talk show host back in the 90s. And he started at the radio station where I worked. And the way he was brought on was this whole bit. It was ridiculous. They had him call in to an established talk show host who did middays and use the word asshole and cause that host to call him an asshole. David Shtick was calling and agitating people, saying ridiculous stuff and getting people upset. That was his shtick as a caller. And then it got entertaining enough where Jim Ashbury was like, "Well, you should do
Jim
this."
Ashbury, there's a name.
So they staged that whole thing. Then Paul Gonzalez was suspended. Right, he went on vacation, and then the whole thing was that David Paul was going to come in, and then eventually he replaced Ludlow, and that was
fun sleekers.
I mean, just changed the whole landscape. He brought in everything, every topic. Dean was a bit designed just to agitate people. And some of them were so ridiculous that you couldn't possibly believe that anybody would take the bait.
And they would.
And they did. And so the show was all about the people who got it enjoying the people who didn't.
Yeah.
And I got to play.
You know what it's like? What they do now on like TBS, Impractical Jokers and all those types of shows. That's the kind of humor it was, where you're playing pranks on others and
on
then
the entire listening audience.
Right. And those who get it are not being pranked. They enjoy the prankage of it all. And the folks who
and the amazing thing about him is he had no radio experience. They brought him in overnights. He had to run the board. He had to learn how to run the board, take his own calls, screen his own calls while doing the calls. Crazy. I couldn't do it.
That's overnight radio, boys and girls. That's how you cut your teeth, so to speak. And he was good. He was a talented guy. He just kind of there was a couple of wires that on occasion would cross and they couldn't get uncrossed. Or
actually, no, David, everything was fine until they put him in middays. And then it slowly we had the audience for a while, but it was never going to be those overnight numbers because
different crowd.
Didn't get the reach, and he was replacing Ludlow Porch, the opposite of what he was. So it just was a matter of time before it burned out, and whatever. But still, great stuff.
Well, and also I think it was poorly managed. The idea was good, and they didn't execute it well. They didn't themselves know what they wanted from him, but they kept asking him to tweak. I remember
they should have let him just stay overnight.
Yeah,
he was having fun. Everybody was doing their numbers were great, and he didn't need their freaking input. But when we had to start using comedy bits from ACN, like coming out of the bits out of the top of the hour with those things,
knock. Who's here? It's John the janitor.
This is the worst
jock name here.
Like turning it into a morning show. And he wasn't a shock jock per se, because
No.
it wasn't music, and he certainly wasn't original. This came way after Shock Jocks, but in terms of talk show hosts, it was
Well, and also the place he was doing the shtick, right? I mean, it was WSB, this real conservative news talky kind of station, and then to have him on there trying and hooking people on, excuse me, I forget what's like an example of some of his bits, but and he would just stay with the
Well,
lie.
the one I tapped into was he was saying that he doesn't have a problem with parents watching movies on TV with nudity in them with kids around, but it is disgusting if the parents walk around the house nude.
There,
So people just jump on that. One of them was about the traffic around the perimeter creating some sort of electromagnetic field that was doing something to our brains. And if you, of course, the flow on in.
The flow on. Oh, that's right. I forgot I was a part of one of the bits.
And it was because we did a fake commercial for a fake bar called the flowing in.
The flowing in, and I
can't remember what it was that we were saying that was agitating.
Like, yeah, it's something of the flowing in was of just a crap show or whatever, and I called in as Dan Zenner, I think.
Gary Zenner.
Yeah, Gary Zenner,
the owner of Flow On In, who's now getting calls or whatever it was. It's two similar guys. And the whole bit was you play it cool first, you ask politely, maybe you could use a different name, but I mean, we're getting some negative feedback here. It's really close. I'm sure it was a mistake. Yeah. And then we keep doing it. And then you call, and you were really believable. That's key. Every bit had to be, every actor type of person we had to use had to nail it, because the minute we blow and make it an obvious bit, then it doesn't work anymore. But
yeah, I was on the phone, and like I was in an office somewhere or a closet or whatever on the phone, so it was quiet.
And didn't you escalate to calling him an asshole?
I believe so. I believe I started. No, the bit was going to be that I'm going to eventually cuss him out, and you're going to dump me.
Right. But we had to let a little of it out first.
Yeah, I mean, but the bottom line was that we knew I was going to drop the F-bomb eventually, and you guys knew it was coming, and then you were going to hit the 7-second delay and like pretend it was a real call because you would have dumped it.
Right.
So you knew I was about.
We could have pre-recorded it, but we never played it safe like that.
No, we did not. That was live radio, as it should be, in the 8th largest market in the country on a
That's just crazy.
Because we didn't know any better.
But, it was just Bob Neal just wanted to shake everything up.
Yeah. Anyway, the flow on in. Gosh, that brings. Speaking of memories, Bob, I found the other day I'm going through the closet in my office here. I'm tidying it up, and I came across. Now, maybe you'll remember this, maybe you won't. I'm guessing that you will, but I came across this. Let's see if you.
Oh my God! Of course.
Yeah, it's
not popping.
Yeah, I have to put it back.
That's the original.
This is it. This is the bulb, the 1580, the Sylvania 1580. Save $67 in energy costs, Bob.
What was his name? Carl?
I forget his name.
Oh no, we don't remember.
I really do. Maybe Daniel. Maybe
Daniel.
Okay, see, I don't know. I forget. All I remember is we were all pretty buzzy, and he made us look like priests. There was something that was off. He was like a half a bubble off center. It just didn't seem like it was just drunk, is what I'm saying here.
Right. The whole thing was just this weird, bizarro few moments. He didn't say that long, right?
No, he didn't. And it was very uncomfortable. And he brought a light bulb.
And it was what's her name's dad, right?
Yes, Kara's dad.
Okay, so
and Kara was still is a sweetie. She's doing well. She's got a family. She's just great. And then we used to give this to each other for many Christmases and Father's Days and birthdays. This light bulb made the rounds.
Right.
And I'm up there in the closet, and there it is.
Wow, that's funny.
And I thought, oh my gosh, because in those days too, this was really out there technologically speaking, these whole light bulbs that are going to last forever.
That was a really long time ago, man.
It was. It was
why all these comments are freaking huge on the screen. Like, what is that about? Oh, wait.
Yeah, that looks great. It looks, which is great.
Oh, they added a feature. Hey, oh, look at all that. Do you see what I'm doing? Can you see?
Yeah, I'm seeing what you're doing. Yeah, Bob, I can see what you're doing, buddy.
Hey, look, first of all, stop losing your patience, mister. I got jammed and stuck and I couldn't hear you. Why is it so quiet?
Because it's just a low recording, low dBs. Because I can play
Okay.
other things. So
I
I'd have
have
to
to
turn it.
this
I'd have to turn it up and everything, and then if I turn it up, then my mic goes up and blah.
Okay, so you have to entertain folks for a little bit because I
Why?
have to order pizza now, and
You have
we
to do
need
it
to submit.
now?
Yes, and I can explain why, or you can just entertain the folks.
Well, now see, now look what happened here. I unable to access the camera. Oh, I might have goofed up. I can't share screen all of a sudden here. Oh, maybe I can share screen. There we go. I have a picture, Bob. I can show you a picture.
Perfect.
But you're gonna have to bring it up,
I
and
will
you're gonna.
authorize the showing of
So
said.
this is this week's specials from Daddy Maxwell's. It's becoming one of our bits, Bob and
Oh,
I.
right, of course, of course.
Yeah, so here's the new, and this I like the Swedish cakes. You can add strawberries or lingonberries. That is so up southern, those hunskas up there. Lingonberries, and then the Denver skillet looks pretty good. You got your hash browns, green pepper, onion, ham, American cheese, a couple eggs, and some toast, Bob, for 11 and a quarter. And at lunch, of course, chips and soda go right alongside that turkey BLT wrap for $10, which sounds yum. And cream of spinach with Swiss cheese. We are in Wisconsin. Is the soup of the day, and you can finish out with a slice of cherry pie for only $6. So that's pretty cool.
I'm a little bummed that you didn't have some great background music for that.
Yeah,
honestly.
but you always tell me that when I use beds behind my mic,
Oh, that's true. That's true. You're
then
right.
it drowns it out or something.
You're right. You're
So
absolutely
I'm hesitant. On my end, it sounds fine. I think I'm doing a great job. I'm talking up the song, and you go, I didn't understand anything. It was just a big mush of sound mush. So Valentine's Day, do you do a thing other than order pizza? Is that
Well,
going to be?
Amber always makes something special and
Yes.
makes it special. We didn't do a ton, we just did some stuff we got flowers and some pink box donuts and stuff for Tracy, and Amber decorated some, stuff, and we just chilled out together today. And I know this is screwy. It's all about the timing of this and a coupon code and all this other stuff, which is why I have to do it now. But the problem has
You're
become,
ordering a pizza.
yeah.
I don't have any Italian music. I don't think I should really have Italian music.
The problem is, I'm supposed to now put in a code to get free garlic rolls or free garlic knot. You see, and even though it sees me in here, my order, but I don't see any place to put this code.
Oh,
I can see my order and then the subtotal and the tax, and there's just no other place to do that. And
by the way, when I skated with Barb Guriel, because I never got to finish that story, when I skated with Barb, third grade, and I had a crush on Barb Guriel, and of course you get to hold hands, which is a big deal, or at least it was to me.
Of course.
And I'm going round and round the rink with Barb Guriel, holding Barb Guriel's hand. This is the coolest thing. The lights are pretty and everything. You're skating, and then after a while, your hand starts to get really sweaty. And then but I'm embarrassed to say, well, do I let go? Do I keep holding on? But how about if I let go and she never holds my hand again? You don't know what to do there exactly. That's at checkout. Now, I don't know where Dean is there at checkout. I'm reading that.
He said, it's only.
Oh, no, you know what? At checkout, when you're ordering the pizza, maybe that's where you put the code. At checkout.
Oh, I see. So I say view order, and there it is, and then I say checkout, and all there is the pickup details, ASAP, where we pick it up, the order.
Well, you know what, Bob? So buy the garlic knots if you want them. It's Valentine's Day. My goodness, man. Throw the $6 out the window. Who cares? It's your Valentine, Bob. Buy your Valentine something. I dated one lady, I remember, and she, like me,
would be a lot happier if I could use the coupon code. I promise you.
Well, I'm sure, Bob, but we all have to go through hardships in life. Everything isn't, roses.
It's not.
But anyway, I dated a girl once, and she also, like me, was a cynic about Valentine's. It was wonderful. We would actually do the texting thing and call and say, isn't this a stupid holiday? We would do it back and forth. It was a lot of fun. And I can also remember buying roses. When I was married, I would buy roses on the 15th because they were half price, and I figured I'd still be married.
Yeah.
And they literally were half price. They were half. The roses would be like whatever. I'm not an arbitrary figure here. $30 for a dozen roses. They'd be $15 the next day.
We went to Trader Joe's this morning to get ours because you can get flowers for $5 and
that sounds nice.
they're
In fact, I had you know what?
always a line.
I was gonna say, were there a lot of people doing the last minute flower candy?
You know what? Last minute, you got to do them last minute if you want them fresh. I mean, you
Okay,
can do
good
the night
point.
before, but if you really want them fresh, it's like normal. It's not like a bad thing that you go there the morning of.
Because
That's
today
how
I just did my normal grocery shopping at the Kroger's, and there was a million guys in there with these bouquets, small bouquets, big bouquets, and then raiding the candy aisle
Right,
too.
but then if you get them earlier, what are you going to do with them? Where are you going to put them?
I have no idea,
Give them-
Robert.
Okay, well, that's what I'm saying.
I like flowers, cut flowers. They smell nice. They're pretty for a few days, but Valentine's flowers remind me of wedding flowers. In fact, we had a client in the other day. His daughter just got married and he was bringing up the wedding and it was down in Florida. He's in Philly, but he happened to be in town we were recording with him anyway, she got married somewhere down in Florida. And apparently he said, they're pretty expensive getting her married. And, he's got this great Philly accent. It was a lot of fun. And then he dropped the number, how much he spent on the flowers.
Okay.
$89,000 on flowers.
I think that's a little crazy.
I thought that was a little high end. Apparently, his ex-wife, the mom of the bride, she apparently also has lots of money. So he goes, she picked up the whole wedding. All I had to do was buy the flowers. So he says, they cost me $89,000, and he said it like it was buying sneakers. He just said $89,000 like it was nothing. But even if I had the money, which I didn't when my daughter got married, I certainly did not spring for $89,000 worth of flowers. But even if I had the money, I don't know.
I know I would not.
That I would not spend all that on flowers. Although, as you probably, maybe, I shouldn't say probably remember, you might not remember this at all, but when I got married and the wedding video finally came back and they edited and we sat down, we couldn't wait. It was going to be like a little mini party. We're going to watch the wedding video. And Kim looked at me and said, why are there all these shots of the flowers? And I kind of laughed because I remember telling the videographer, shoot all these flowers because they're going to be dead in a couple of days and they cost a lot of money.
Right. We freaking paid for them. Paid an arm and leg for it. May as well use it.
Yes.
Hold on. I have to dictate something.
That sounds painful.
Code that we got from the website. However, we don't see where to put it in. All right. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, with only seconds to spare.
Yeah.
We're still about $78,000 short of our goal of $79,000.
Hey, by the way, before we leave, I also found in the magic closet, I found this birthday card from Stephen to me, and the only reason I'm reading it to you before we depart before the lounge closes, Bob, it says, first of all, it's a whole lawn themed artwork. Can you see? It's it's got the.
Yes.
Okay, so happy birthday to a dad who's loved mulch mower.
Or then he could on that from the author of how much wood, not an author.
Yes, but it's the same card buying guy. This was obviously when I still mowed lawns every weekend, that he's loved mulch mower than he could ever imagine. Is very Steven, and also it's dated, obviously.
I found the place to put the promo code. I wanted to celebrate while you were celebrating Steven and his quirky sense of humor. I do love that.
Rob is stuck again. Let's see how it goes. How long will it last?
Yes.
Well, nobody
He knows.
And
Be sure to drink your Ovaltine.
You've been watching The Lounge Show with Rob Scott and Bob Doyle. Join us every Saturday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, and tell your friends and family to do the same. After all, we'd do it for you if you had a show. Probably.